Welcome to the F1 in Schools project tutorial. My name is Phil Dolan. In this lesson, we're going to create lofted features and alternative wing structures. Previously, we used freeform modeling to create the body and the wings of the car. In this case, I'm going to introduce you to the loft feature. So what I've done is I've created an extrusion and then a sketch on the end of that extrusion, a work plane, and then a point right in the center. I'm going to go to Loft, and I have to select sections. So the first section is that kind of semicircle, and then the point. And you can see the preview. So with that feature created, I can then add fillets to round that off. Let's look at some other alternatives. Instead of a point, I can actually create a little bit of a shape at the end. So I've created a smaller semicircle at the end on that work plane where the point was. Let's make it visible and zoom in so you can see that. I've actually created that, so let's move the end of part down a little bit and turn off the suppression. And there's the shape, and again you'd add fillets to round that off. I've created another work plane approximately halfway between the front end and the back end. I'm going to suppress that feature I just showed you, add another sketch, and this time there are 3 selections that I created. And you can see those 3 sketches right there. Unsuppress the feature, and that gives you, so you can control the shape a little bit better. In terms of creating the wings, here's another way to do that. Let's go in and have a look at the sketch that I created. So I created a work plane and then a sketch on that work plane. And the sketch that you see here was created by creating a spline. So that's just underneath line. So I created this spline. Lets you create some more freeform type shapes. Offset the spline from top to bottom, added a short line in, and then mirrored that. Extruded that sketch and added some fillets to round off the corners. So with that spline command, you can create some interesting shapes. With the original wing, the front wing that I created, what I've done is subdivide that surface. And what I want to do is create a couple of holes. So just a more interesting look on there. So I'm going to delete. I've got symmetry, so the other side's going to be deleted as well. So delete that face top, and delete the same face on the underside. Now when I do this, there's effectively a big hole through the wing. We're going to have to fix that, and we'll use another one of the freeform tools to do that. I'm not going to go out of freeform, I'm going to stay in there, and I'm going to merge the edges. Now when I zoom in, you can see where that hole is, so we have to fill that in. So merge the edges. Select the top edges first. This is set 1. And as you're going along, it's computing, so it does slow down sometimes as you're doing that. Over to set 2. Select the same edges. No need to rotate it, it'll find those underneath there. And you can see it slowing down just a little bit as it starts to compute what the new shape will look like. And select that 4th edge, and then click OK. So this makes quite a change. So those 2 larger holes, then you could go ahead and test that and see if that improves your design of your car. In terms of wing supports, here's another idea. In this case, I'm going to use the sweep command. So to do that, I've created a small rectangle and then a path. So there were 2 sketches required, the rectangle and then the sketch for the path. I went to sweep, selected the rectangle and then the path. And let's turn it back to shaded. I had it as wireframe so you could see that. And now you can support the wings on top of that rather than embed them right into the front nose cone. In this lesson, we looked at creating lofted features and alternative wing structures.